Hello and welcome to Rapid Pixel Racing GP2. We are round 15 and we are at Bahrain. Whilst the drivers are sorting everything out, so getting their setups on and getting ready for quali, I'll run you through the standings. Johnny Stokes out in front, 120 point lead for Johnny, sitting comfortably at the top. Frenzy in second, Andreas in third, Hobo sitting in fourth. Only 7 points off of Andreas, so a good result tonight. Could see Hobo jump up into third. James Owl hot on Hobo's heels though in fifth place. Lister in sixth, Moyland in seventh, Evan in eighth, Scotty in ninth, Mrs. Carl in 10th, tied with Woomax. Carl in 12th, Zodak in 13th, Speedy in 14th, Venom in 15th, Matty in 16th, Hepburn in 17th, Ashwin and Demon tied in 18th, and Nevo in 20th. In the constructors, Aston Martin have a 116 point lead over AlphaTauri in second place, McLaren in third, Alfa Romeo in fourth, Haas in fifth, Alpine in sixth, Mercedes in seventh, Red Bull in eighth, Williams and Ferrari tied in ninth place. Get everything up. We have got drivers making their way out. First onto track is Scotty. Stay with Scotty as he makes his way round his outlap. Just going through turn 3 now on the run up to turn 4. Evening Terry, how are you? You've had a good week, mate? Robert. You sound like my parents. So Scotty coming down to the worst corner on this track. A tight left-hander of turn 10. Why has Hobo left? Let's invite Hobo back in. I'm going to be trying to keep an eye on people leaving. Looking forward to Scotty's write-off. Well, you could have been watching TTFL. He's already had one tonight. And he had a proper one as well. Blocked the track and everything. So Scotty not doing his normal 2 outlap process, going straight into a hot lap. So in through turn 1, gets the apex of 2 nicely. Manages to avoid doing a Grosjean in 3 or a Mazepin and go in the other side in 3. Dropping down through the little S section. Heavy braking into 8. Back on the power steadily to keep the back under control. Now getting the braking right. It's a very tidy line through 10. A little twitch as he gets on the power coming out of 10. Heading up to 11. This becomes flat out, keeping the car under control. Doesn't take any curb on the exit of 12. A little bit of curb on the exit of 13 as we head down the back straight into the final 2 corners. Very tidy lap from Scotty. DRS open, crosses the line, a 130.2. That's the first car across. That will take him into first. Hepburn does a 32.0. I was out, but that's made my evening. It was 3 laps from the end as well, Kerry, and he was running third. I'm surprised he didn't phone you screaming and shouting. So we've got McLaren coming across the line. That's Lister starting his lap. Johnny Stokes just through the final corner. Time's Johnny going to set on the hard tyre. So 31.0 from Johnny on that hard tyre. So as long as everyone gets out and does a lap, everyone will be through. Frenzy's retired in the pit, so everyone will be through. James out with a 32.8, and it did look like he was on the hard tyres. Wet race. That could be interesting. That could make it very interesting. So Lister with a 29.1. Stills pole. Hepburn on 32.0. Hobo, you got my hopes up for a entertaining race then. I'm disappointed. I swear I have seen it wet at Bahrain once in the game. It was pretty undrivable. The traction around here is minimal as it is. So just for that, Hobo, I'm going to put you under pressure. I'm going to follow you around on those inters. As the Alpine behind goes for a spin, that'll keep Kerry happy. That was Scotty going round on the exit of 13. Kept it out the wall though, so no damage for Scotty. Hobo's starting his lap then, up to the braking zone for turn 1. Misses the apex on 1, gets the apex for 2, a little bit of curb on 3, now the run up to turn 4. Not made a mistake yet. Braking nicely to 8, and now it's the all-important turn 9. You can lose so much time if you don't get that exit right. Hobo looking to have the car under control. Spots his braking point, and now through 11. Extremely wide on the exit of 12 there. Doesn't invalidate. Just the run to 14 and 15. Why they're individual corner numbers, because it just flows as one. Now DRS open, the run to the line. 33.1 from Hobo takes him into 11th. Moyland with a 33.0, also on the into tyre. Demon's done a 32.2 on the hard. Hepburn with his 32.0. Kyla 31.4. Evan on a 31.3. Mrs. Carla 31.2. Still to set a lap, we have Decky who's just starting, and Nevo a 108.4 through sector 2 for Nevo. As we drop down the hill towards 14 and 15. Just a sprint to the line, and it will be a 130.6, so Nevo goes up into third place. Good lap from Nevo. Let's drop back down to see how Decky's getting on through the second DRS. It's a wider line through 12, sets him up. I was going to say nicely for 13, but he ran wide on the exit. Didn't invalidate. Plus the run to the line, DRS open, and it's a 132.5. It takes Decky up into 11th. Oh, it was Jake that snuck in. I wondered who the extra driver was. So everyone can just return to the pits, having all set a time, bar Frenzy. So you can all come in and retire in the pits, and we can move on to Q2. Well, at least we got him in. He's reserved a few times, so it's fine. So at least some of you are listening. James out going for another run. Oh, come into the pits. Why are we all going back out in Q1? You're all through. James, this is James. We are going to have to retire the car. Hepburn improves up to 6, but just come into the pits, Hepburn. So we can move on to Q2. And 1.8 off the pace with the slowest tyre, I'll take that. Yeah, I'd be happy to be that far off the pace on the slower tyre. I'd be happy to be that far off the pace on the soft tyre as well. So come on, back into the pits, Hepburn. On your way in at the to the pits, can you stop at the weighbridge to give a fuel sample as you're out of fuel? And Scotty, Hepburn, Zodak, please retire in the pits. Don't make us sit here and watch 2 minutes of the timer counting down. Thank you, Scotty. Just Hepburn and Zodak, thank you. Alright, now we can move on to Q2. Or we can sit in the Williams pit. Oh, there we go. So top three all setting their times on the softs. Mrs. Carl on the soft as well. James and Johnny both on the hard tyre. Hepburn on the medium. Evan, Kyle, Demon and Decky on the hards. Moyland, Hobo, Jake on the inters. And Zodak just doing a very steady lap on the mediums. Frenzy not setting a time, as is the Frenzy standard. Team Aston on hards, let's go. I mean, if you do all of quali on hards, if you can get through Q2 on hards, I'll be impressed. If you want to take that as a challenge, then yeah, I'll put that out there as a challenge. I've seen you get through the pack rather quickly anyway, so even if you didn't make it into Q3, you'd still be up there at the end of the race. With all the softs in the world, yeah, for all the safety cars, you'd be able to nail all the restarts. So Evan is first out onto the track, but he's not alone. We've got Kyle, Hepburn, Lister, Scotty and Mrs. Carl all close together. We'll stay with Evan for the time being. Donny, Zodak and Nero also exit the pits. Followed by Moylan, timed it to allow himself a nice gap in front. So the times are around the 8 minute mark. Yep. That'll give you the option to run one on the hard and then, if need be, jump on the medium. Can't see you needing the soft to get through Q2, but we'll see. As Evan comes through the final corner now, gets the DRS open to start the first hot lap of Q2. No traffic to worry about for Evan as we're breaking into turn 1. Little bit of a wiggle through turn 2, but has it collected through 3. Nicely through 4, and now through the little S turn. Car well set up, a little lock up as we break down into 8, as the track drops away. Won't affect him too much. Now the important corner, turn 10, to get a good drive out, to get the power down early. A little wiggle as the DRS came open, the back was braking traction slightly. Through 11, and then it's pretty much flat out all the way round to the braking for 13. And nicely over the curb, clips the inside apex and a little wide on the exit. Carries the speed down the straight towards 14 and 15. Clearly on the power, DRS open, sets the time of 1:31.2. Teammate does a 31.4, Scotty does a 30.0, and Lister breaks into the 28 with a 28.8 to take him to the top of the leaderboard. So getting out of the way there, see what Connie Soaps can do. Connie's still running the hards as well. So 30.7 from Connie takes him into 3rd. Nevo with a 31.1 goes 4th. Mercedes starting an outlap. Moyland on the hard tyre out the final corner. DRS open. 31.1 from Moyland. So Matters his teammates' time on the opposite compound tyre. So that just starting his lap through turn 3, run towards 4. There's quite a bit of curb on the entry, the wide line on the exit. Through the S's, now down to turn 8. Power down as we run round to 9, and then the brake in 410. Downhill, and the camber just drops away a little squirrely as he tries to get the power down on the run to 11. So just keeping out of the way. Through turn 12, 107.7 through sector 2 for Zodak. Benefit from a little bit of a distant toe from that Red Bull in front. So we make our way down to 14 and 15. Power down out of him. Sorry, I didn't mean to yawn as he was crossing the line there. A 29.9 from Zodak, so that takes him up into second. Great time from Zodak there. Great doing a 49.0 on that previous lap, but he did allow traffic through. His way through turn 4. 6 seconds up through sector 1. As Evan left the second. Try and re-invite Evan. Just coming to the end of sector 2 for Jake, 16 seconds up, so this is going to be a big improvement, a big kick of oversteer though on the exit of 13. Compromise his speed as he makes his way down to 14. Onto the line, crosses the line at 29.8. Great time from Jake there, even with that oversteer coming out of 13. Probably lost a couple of tenths there. So I think a mid 29 possible from Jake. Yeah, that's what we've got on the front. This is Carl just coming down, not deploying, so not pushing. Hepburn on his way out with 10. It's been a long week. Hepburn coming out of 13. Haas in front that keeps out of the way. James has done a 32.1 on the hard tyre. Hepburn goes through with a 29.8. So top, not top, just listed on a 28.8. Second, third and fourth all within a tenth of each other. Sonny Stokes back out on track, currently down. Half a tenth down through sector 1. As he comes through turn 10. Oh, I can't keep my eyes open. So we'll see what his split is as he comes through 11 and 12. So the timing line. So 300s up through sector 2. And then a spin on the exit of 14. That's I think Connie might have to go to the soft tyre. Sitting in 8th is a little bit at risk there. James, I think, may need to ignore my challenge and go for a softer compound. See what he decides. stays out to finish the lap, crosses the line, he takes 1.2 seconds out, it moves him up into 10th. So it does put him, the driver, at risk. Nevo on an outlap. Evan currently 1.1 seconds up through sector 2, so Evan's going to be moving up the order. How far is he going to jump up as we cross the line? A 1:29.6 from Evan. 1.6 seconds out of his previous time, so that moves him up comfortably into 3rd place. Kyle's done a 29.4 to go 2nd, so the Alfa Romeo is looking very strong. Moyland now the driver at risk. Mr. Comfortable with pole for this session. So Moyland 3 seconds down on this lap. Not sure if he's going to have time to actually get into the pits and go for a different tyre. It's going to be cutting it fine. Teammate is out on track though, so he won't get held up in the pits by his teammate. Evening, Thornicus. Yep, I'm good, mate. Little tired, but that's nothing new for a Friday. Congrats on the win in TTFL earlier. I thought the connection issues were going to cost you that win. Moylan opting to retire in the pits. So Mrs. Cole starting her final flying lap. As Nevo goes through into 10th place. Birds on board. So Nevo into 10th, knocking his teammate Moyland out in Q2. Johnny Stokes currently sitting in 3rd. In the knockout zone, Johnny Stokes, Moyland will be out. Mrs. Cole, James out on an outlap, so he's not going to be able to set a time because he ain't going to get to the start-finish line before the checkered flag comes out. And Demons, we're definitely losing Moyland and James out. Nevo is out as Demon goes through and takes 9th place. So we'll be losing Nevo. Johnny Stokes just coming down to 14 now. Through the final corner. And crosses the line to go 2nd. So Johnny Stokes is through and knocks Decky out. Nevo in the pits, Mrs. Carl in the pits, James under AI, so that is everyone through. Oh, that's just mean, James. Now I want to clip by and I'm going to get moaned at when I go in. Oh, it's going to be half midnight at the earliest and start cooking. So at the end of Q2, we'll be saying goodbye to Decky, Nevo, Moyland, Mrs. Cole, and James out. And whilst James goes and chokes on his clip butty, we'll stay on for Q3. As long as thanks, man. Just need to see if I'm getting a penalty point. Rapid reported me. I'd guess it'll be a warning to look at your connection and bits. I can't see a penalty, but there are multiple stewards, so there'll be discussions had and decision will be made, and I'm sure it will be a fair one. It did look like a few people were having issues with the connections in TTFL. Hepburn leads us round the outlaps, followed closely by the Alfa Romeos and the Lister of McLaren. Only Demon and Craig staying in the pits for the time being. Stay with Hepburn as he makes his way down towards turn 11. Last bit of heat into those soft tyres before he starts his run. Around 14 and 15 on the power as early as possible to give you maximum speed down this straight. On the apex of 1, cuts the apex of 2, takes the curb on 3, a little tight on the exit, using all the track, nicely through 4, set them up with the drop down through the S's, through the S. Snap of oversteer as he got on the traction coming out of 8. That's in the 10th or so. Ultimate pace down to 10. DRS open on the brakes for 11. Wide line around 12. Him out onto the curb. Through 13, got Lister just behind, will be getting all the benefit from the distant toe there. Hepburn crosses the line, a 30.3 for Hepburn and a 28.7 for Lister. Evan with a 29.4, Carl on a 29.7, Zodak a 29.8, Hobo a 29.7, Just waiting for Johnny Stokes to finish his lap now. See what Johnny's got. A 28.7 for Johnny. Just 100 separating Johnny and Lister at the top. Scotty coming through the final corner. Come to the pit. I'll jump on board with you, Scotty, and you go into the pits. Jake on his out lap. I imagine everyone else will be coming back into the pits. Sorry about that coughing fit, so I had to mute it. So back with Jake coming down into turn 10 now. Scotty back out for his out lap. So Scotty and Demon yet to set a time. Jake currently on his lap, coming through turn 12. Into sector 2. Why does that turn off every single time? So 1 down to 14. Crosses the line at 29.5. Takes Jake up into 4th. Scotty starts his time lap. Use such soft tyres for Scotty by the looks of things. Back to his 2 out lap method. He's got the Mercedes just in front as we go through turn 10. A big slide into turn 10. It looked like the rear locked on Scotty there. To recover it well. It's going to cost him quite a bit of time. Very wide on the exit of 13 as well. Not the cleanest lap we've seen from Scotty. Got it into the pit. Come to Lister. See if we can find any improvement to cement that position at the top, and he is currently 3/10 up on that time. So Leicester looking to try and secure pole position. It's very wide on the exit of the final corner and does improve at 28.3. Johnny still in the pits. Hepburn just started his lap. Evan in the pits. Hobo on an out lap and a spin as he goes through the braking into 10. Kyle is improving on his current lap. Crosses the line. Find a bit more improvement at 29.5 from Kyle. A celebratory wiggle. Johnny and 127.9. I'm going to stay with Johnny to see if he can do a 27.9. Have a look what he did Monday as well. Can I get there before he... Yes, I can. Results. GP1. 15. So 28.6 from Johnny on Monday. There's only one driver in GP1 into the 27s, and that was Lattice. Gustav with the 28.1, Moyland with the 28.4. But that was Monday in GP1. And I did a 30.9. And then horrendous race. So Johnny starting his final timed lap. Lister currently sits on provisional pole with a 28.3. Needs to find 4/10 through the course of this lap to steal pole position through turn 4, and we'll get our first glimpse at the end of sector 1 at 700ths up on his time. Find 3 and a bit tenths through sectors 2 and 3. Get the brake in right for 10, and that looks absolutely spot on. DRS open on the run up to turn 11. The Williams keeping well out of the way. Kick of oversteer as we come through turn 11. Time nearly 2 seconds, so it's bailed. Johnny has bailed. Lister is currently on provisional pole. Evan goes through into second on a 28.5. Great time from Evan there. Hepburn's not on a lap. Demon into 6 on his only time lap in Q3, the 29.5. Kyle is improving, currently on a 29.5. Fails out of that. No, he wasn't improving, he was on an in lap. Hobo to the line, doesn't improve. Scotty not able to set a time in Q3. Feels somewhat of a mixed up grid. Get yawning. Get the monster going. So Lister takes pole, Evan in second, Connie Stokes in third, Hepburn in fourth, Kyle in fifth, Demon in sixth, Jake in seventh, Hobo in eighth, Zodak in ninth, and Scotty not setting a time will start 10th. So here we go, round 15. Just waiting for the drivers to do, to load into the session so they can then set their strats, pick their start tyre. It's not unusual to see a safety car around Bahrain. We will see what comes forward. So everyone in chat, who is your money on to take the win? Can Lister hold on to the lead from the start? I literally just said that as it popped up on my screen. Frenzy for the win. Cheers, Ryan. So Lister and Evan going for the mediums. Hobo predicting himself to win. Donny going hard. Hepburn on the medium. Carl on the hards. Demon on the medium. Jake, Hobo and Zodak on the hard. Scotty on the medium and the rest of the grid on the hards. Evan goes for a spin on the formation lap. I know Johnny's got the pace to go for the win. But I get a feeling Lister's gone for his rocket ship setup. So I think it's going to be very difficult to get past on the strokes. Being on the opposite tyres to Connie, I think he's going to gain the advantage in the opening part of the first stint. All it would take is a safety car to close everyone up. So as the drivers start lining back up on the grid, not managing to park. We haven't. these are nice camera angles, but I want a view from the front of the pack, looking back. So 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go. I'll time that right. And we've got carnage at the back in the form of the McLaren of Decky and Mrs. Carl into the wall. Hepburn up into second. Getting the jump on Evan through the start. Hobo and Carl battling it out through turn 4. Hobo on the inside is going to put him on the outside round 5, but giving back the inside for 6 and 7. That's Hobo through. Evan dropping down the order. Evan dropped down to 7th place as Hobo and Demon battling it out round to turn 10. Demon managing to hold Hobo off. Evan back up into 6, getting in front of his teammate there. Almost 3 wide into turn 11 as James Howe coming on the cards. You've got the Haas of Zodak running wide through 11. So James up into 7th place. Carl and Scotty battling out over 8th place. Deciding to allow Kyle to hold on to 8th for the time being. But Scotty with a better drive out of the final corner gets that move done, and Kyle losing out to Jake as well. Nevo looking up the inside of Kyle, so Nevo through, Kyle down into 11th. Moylan sitting in 12th, watching everything develop in front. Zodak just on the back of the pack. Mrs. Cole into the pits. I get a feeling that's for a new wing after that incident on the start. Decky into the pits as well. Yeah, definitely a new wing for Decky. So back to the front of the pack. Lister out in front has built a 1.7 second gap over Hepburn in second. Johnny up into third, Demon in fourth, Hobo sitting in fifth, with Evan just behind in sixth. James Owl has Scotty for company in seventh. Nevo giving his teammate a tow down the back straight. Is he going to allow Moylan through? And it looks like a very clear team orders there. Nevo releasing Moylan to go and chase down the points ahead. On the back of Johnny Soaps as they make their way through turn 4. Pushing on those mediums, trying to take full advantage over those on the hard tyre. Lister is checking out in front though. He's built up a 2.4 second gap over Hepburn in second. Hepburn will be needing to look in his mirrors as DRS will be available this time around. Johnny Stokes is well within that zone as Hepburn takes a spin round the exit of turn 12. Put him backwards into the wall. That's unfortunate. He picked up rear wing damage. And having gone from lap 11 to lap 24 with rear wing damage, that's not going to be pleasant. Won't be as bad on fresh tyres. Once those tyres get warm, it just becomes undrivable. That's headburn into the pits, and it's unfortunate. Don't like to see it early on, drivers having to retire, but I know that would be undrivable. So Lister now with a 4-second advantage over second place. Johnny's still under pressure from Demon. Or place what place is. It's how tired I am. I cannot remember it. I think Johnny was in front of Demon. Evan going very slow again on the exit of 11. Drops Evan back down into 7th place. A couple of times now I've seen Evan struggling to get a power down out of that corner. Lister with another fastest lap of 31.9. Open that gap to Johnny 5 seconds. Johnny under a little pressure from Demon with the DRS. As Scotty looking to get a move done on James Out and Hobo. So Scotty up into 5th. James sitting in 6th. Evan on the back of this battle. We've got Jake and Moyland as well. So what's happened to Nevo? He's dropped down into 13th and a fair way off the back of the pack. Nevo had a moment after releasing Moyland. So there's a DRS. Ooh. DRS train forming for 4th place. Johnny's managed to break the DRS to Demon. This one gives him a little bit of breathing space as he goes in pursuit of Lister. I thought for a second that was Lister having an issue, but it's not. It's the other McLaren of Decky moving out of the way for the blue flags. It is good to see drivers paying attention to the flags. It's unfortunate. Decky retiring in the pits. So Johnny's starting to close the gap to Lister slowly. But Demon back within the DRS. So Johnny will be needing to look in his mirrors to see where Demon is. Scotty's still holding on to 5th. Can't find his way past Hobo at the moment. James, Evan, Jake and Moyland all in this DRS train as well. So they've run down towards turn 11. Scotty closer this time around to the AlphaTauri in front. Let's get a good exit. Moves to the inside as they head down to the braking zone. And that is Scotty up and into 4th place. Hobo drops down into 5th. We'll get the DRS though on the run up to 4. He is able to defend a little from James, who's now the next in line to try and get the move done on Hobo. Scotty trying desperately to break the DRS. Those demons dropped off the back of Johnny in front and needs to be looking in his mirrors as well, because Scotty is closing in. Scotty getting a good exit out of 10. Hobo going on the attack. James out all over the back of Hobo. Can he find a way past before the DRS, or is he going to play it safe and wait for the DRS to get that overspeed? Scotty now within the DRS of Demon, so this DRS train has gone from a battle for 4th up to a battle for 3rd. Scotty does get past Demon into the pits. Fairly early stop for Demon going on to the hard tyre. Brings him out in 12th though. Going for the early undercut. It's Moyland and Evan going side by side through turn 4. Moyland comes out in front, so that's Moyland up into 6th place. Joining on to the battle over 3rd. There's Jake and Frenzy and Carl get past Evan. It looked like Evan may have had a moment there on the exit of 8. Got Zodak running very deep through 10. That puts him, holds on to 11th, but drops him off this pack in front. Frenzy be wanting to try and close up on the back of Jake to get the DRS to help him defend from Carl behind. Scotty into the pits, had enough of those medium tyres. Moves everyone up 1 place. Works in Hobo's favour there, because it allows him to have the DRS on the run to turn 1. Arrow's going to be coming under attack from James as they head towards turn 4. James able to get close enough even with the DRS. Obviously he's battling over 3rd place. Connie is slowly starting to reel Lister in. Those medium tyres. No one on mediums who's sharing telemetry, so no idea on their wear. It's yawning every Friday. So Hobo and James still fighting it out over 3rd place. Moyland up into 5th now, with Scotty having pitted early for the hard tyre. This is the battle of the DXT. You've got 4 DXT drivers, all within DRS of one another. So make their way through turn 3. James, Moyland and Jake all with the DRS. A Hobo managing to hold on. this time around, but how long can he keep it in front of these drivers behind? James getting a poor exit there from turn 8. That cost him, so he's dropped out of the DRS of Hobo. And Jake still in the DRS. Frenzy and Kyle also getting into this DRS train. James is going to want to be... He is deploying. Moylan and Jake looking very healthy for the ERS and been able to save whilst in the DRS of those in front. And he's got back into the DRS of Hobo. Both down to 10% on their battery though. So Connie's got the gap down to 3 seconds to Lister. This has got to be considering coming into the pits. Yellow flag in sector 1. So what was going on there? James, Moylan, Jake, Frenzy, all on the back of Hobo. Kyle just outside the DRS of Frenzy now. So Hobo's getting a better exit out of the final corner. He's allowing him to defend from James on the run to turn 1. James coming under increasing pressure from Moylan, who's got a lot healthier ERS. Moylan deploying now with the DRS, gets the move done up the inside into 4, but James coming back around the outside down towards 5. 14 just behind Moylan. Not giving up, trying to find a way back round as they come through turn 8. Still within the DRS of Hobo. They've dropped back a little. Whilst they're battling, it's allowing Hobo chance to try and break the DRS as Scotty's had enough for the evening and has retired in the pits. What happened to him? Did he have a moment out in the final corner? Is that why I saw the yellow flag? Did look like he was slow on the start finish straight. By the time I got down to get on board with it, or spectator view. So Moyland now with ERS advantage over Hobo. Hobo is deploying to defend. Being down in that final 10%, it doesn't give you the same boost that you get when you're further up the ERS range. So Moyland up into 3rd. Gonna give Hobo half a chance of recovering a bit of ERS, using the DRS in front, 2 DNFs in one night. Yeah, it's one thing I can say, I've never done a double DNF in the same night. No, I think I've always made it through the sprint, so yeah. I think I can get away with saying that one. Here's hoping the next game has a better handling model. This game's killing drivers' mentality. Well, not mentality. Just love for the game. I'm going for the Book of Broncos status. That's my goal. So, right, back to the race. Johnny's got the gap down to 1.6 to Lister now. Getting to the halfway point. Lister's got to be pushing these mediums to the limit. What he needs to be wary of. Another couple of laps. Johnny's going to be right on the back of him. Possibly have a pit advantage over him as well. So Hobo's lost out to James out as well. So James up into fourth. Hobo almost out of the DRS of James and coming under attack from Jake. Frenzy on the back of this as well. So from a constructor's point of view, AlphaTauri need to find something to help move them up the order. What they need to find is a rocket ship to try and close down Johnny and Johnny just gets within the DRS of Lister. As I thought, Lister able to actually open the gap against Johnny down the straight, even with the DRS being available. I don't honestly know how Lister can drive the car with the downforce setup he runs. Must be absolutely horrendous through the corners, but week after week he runs a similar downforce setup. Say similar. He seems to have a very low downforce, high top speed setup and makes it work. Now I think the tyres are coming into play as Johnny is within half a second of Lister. Lister extremely healthy on the ERS, 90% against Johnny's 10%. Lister has plenty to play with in deployment terms to defend. Moyland into the pits, bringing out just behind Zodak, quite a bit behind Zodak. So Moyland out of the pits into 8th place. Tyre wear, so Frenzy sitting on 50 on the rear, 40 on the front. Hobo, having been battling, is 55 on the front, 65 on the rear. James is out of the DRS of Hobo, so James has a little bit of breathing space. They're both on similar ERS. James has the healthier tyre as well, not by a lot, but a couple of percent will make a little bit of difference. But Hobo Pushlin is back in the DRS as they make their way down to turn 14. As Johnny is all over the back of Lister, up the start finish straight, looks to the inside down to turn 1. Gets the move done, under braking. Very close but very fair wheel-to-wheel battle there through turn 1 and 2. Johnny does get the move done. Lister losing out a little on the exit of 2. Has the DRS, but it's not enough to pull him back past Johnny. So James out into the pits as well. Comes out just behind Moyland. So the undercut. The early stop just working out. James does get the DRS on the run from 3 to 4. James now having to go through that warm-up phase with the tyre. Moylan's opening the gap with his tyres being that 1 lap holder. They'll be up to temperature. So will we see more Lister peeling off into the pits? He's done 16 laps on those mediums. He's made them last well. So Johnny Stokes into the pits. Lister opting to stay out and looking to try and go for the overcut. Johnny Stokes. What's that showing me? Okay. Johnny making his way down the pit straight. He's going to come out just in front, literally just in front of Zodak. Zodak will have a little advantage with the tyres being up to temperature. But Johnny on the medium should be able to defend this. Zodak round the outside of 4. We're going to go side by side all the way through the S section. Johnny gets back in front, so Johnny holds on to 4th place. Lister making his way around turn 12. Putting that off for a minute. American Lister's got to come into the pits this lap. Or is he going to try and find a way to go medium soft? No, Lister is into the pits. Where's Johnny? Johnny just coming down towards the final 2 corners. Hobo into the pits as well. Lister has gone for the soft tyre. Lister going to try and drag 10 laps out of the soft tyre. He's going to have a pace advantage over Johnny once he exits the pits. Can he make that soft tyre last? Moylan just behind Lister, so sure going long's actually worked for Lister and Johnny. It's allowed Moylan to close right up, close that gap right down. It's actually putting Lister under a little bit of pressure as they make their way down towards turn 10. Johnny's got a 3-second advantage over Lister. This will Moylan very similarly matched on the ERS. Frenzy just through the final corner now. Will Frenzy be staying out or is he going to come in? No, he's going for another lap on those hards. So James has dropped off the back of Moylan. 2 second gap between James and Moylan. Cake running in 6th currently. Hobo under pressure from Kyle as they come down the start finish straight. Kyle looking on the inside, the outside, the inside. He's picked one side and gone for it. He may have found a way past into turn 1. Stop yawning. Back to the battle for second. Lister's managing to break the DRS now. This Moylan just gets it down to turn 11. Lister really pushing on those soft tyres to try and close in to Johnny Stokes. Lister is gaining down the straights. He's also deployed almost all of his energy. Takes the fastest lap at 1:30.8. Mrs. Cole exits the pits, trying to keep out of the way of everyone coming through. It's a bit of an awkward pit exit as well if you come out into traffic, especially when you're under blue flag conditions. So Moylan's back in the DRS. Lister's slowly gaining on Johnny, but what he's also doing at the same time is dragging Moylan along with him. And open the gap to James in 5th. That's put 3.3 seconds. Hobo's got a bit of breathing space over Carl in 8th. Just off the back of this as well, currently in 9th place. Evan running in 10th as Frenzy comes into the pits on lap 22. Frenzy going for the soft. I think Frenzy's got more chance of getting to the end on the soft. Only 7 laps to go, so that puts Johnny Stokes into the lead of the race. Lister's gained a couple of tenths over the last lap. At the same time, Moylan's gained 3 tenths out of Lister as well. These two were teammates at the start of the year, start of the season. But as you probably know, Moylan took a break from racing. He joined me on comms for a couple of months, so gave up his full-time seat, then took a reserve seat after doing a race in, I think it was OFR, after a couple of months of not racing. Refound the love, so ran as a reserve for a few weeks, and then when a seat became available, he asked to take that seat back. So the gap down to 1.4 seconds between Johnny and Lister. Moylan just outside the DRS. Deploys just enough to get back within the DRS for the second DRS straight. James having a good recovery drive from further down the order, running in fourth and having a very tidy race. Jake having a very uneventful race in fifth place, so good race for Jake. Frenzy's out of the pits and into sixth on that soft tyre. He is closing down on Jake ahead. Hobo running in seventh, still with Kyle for company. I'm not able to find a way past Hobo. I think Hobo's been taking lessons from Mrs. Carl in how to defend. Demon is unfortunately in a bit of no man's land. 7 seconds off of Carl in front and 6 ahead of Evan behind. Zodak 5 seconds back from Evan, but holding on. Nevo running 12th at the minute. He's got 32-second gap to find to Zodak as Frenzy takes the fastest lap with a 1:30.3. Mrs. Carl just been lapped, currently running in 13th place. On the power a little bit too early out of turn one. Spins around, no damage, so just hot rear tyres. This is still closing in on Johnny, gap down to 1.2. Having to deploy, Lister will see that red light flashing and know that Johnny's at the bottom of his battery. And Moyland right on the edge of DRS, but stays just within as they go across the detection point. Able to open that gap as they run down towards turn one. Lister will get DRS this time around as they run from 3 to 4. Is that going to be enough to pull him onto the back of Johnny Stoke? All on very equal battery levels. And it does pull Lister ever closer to Johnny. We drop down towards braking for turn 8. And we've got a safety car. Lap 25 and we get a safety car. This could get interesting. Lister's softs are going to be Frenzy's on 25% on 3 lap old softs. Lister's on 6 lap old softs. It's going to be a sprint at the end. Johnny's medium, 7 laps old. Is coming in for the softs. Lister's in for the softs. Moylan's in, I'm guessing, for the softs. James coming in for the softs. I think everyone. Jake in for the softs. Frenzy stays out. could get very interesting. Down to Carlin for the softs. Mrs. Cole trying to get past everyone and unlap herself. Demon stays out, but he literally pitted the lap before. So driver's staying out with Frenzy, who inherits the lead. Zodak on 7 lap-old mediums, moves him up into 7th. Demon on a couple of lap-old softs. This is Carl, who's trying to unlap herself to give herself a chance of getting back into the fight. It is so annoying when there is a late safety car if you have been lapped. There's no ability to unlap yourself. I think Mrs. Cole trying to run off track there to allow the drivers behind to get past so it doesn't cause any issues on a restart. At least I think that's what she was trying to do. She just had a moment running around turn 11 and went wide. Pits for Mrs. Cole. Will allow everyone else to stay in race order behind the safety car. That's a retirement in the pits for Mrs. Cole. It's unfortunate. It's something I hope they fix in the new game, that lapped cars can actually unlap themselves under a safety car. But I'm not going to hold my breath. So I'm expecting a safety car to come in at the end of this lap. Frenzy's going to have a bit of work to do to defend from those behind who are on the fresh soft tyre. Wait to see what happens. Till the end of sector 2. Or are we going to have no, we are going to get racing. We're not going to have a repeat of the real world where they just follow the safety car running to the end. So we are going to have 2 laps of racing once we get back going. Around the final corner, and Frenzy still weaving and then goes, almost tried to sell the dummy that he was going for a late pit stop there. Lister on the attack, going around the outside of Gonny into turn 1. That will give him the inside for 2. A little bit of a wiggle for Lister there. That's actually compromised Moyland, who drops down into 6th. Gonny manages to hold on to 2nd place. Frenzy, with that late restart, has actually gained over a second on Johnny Stokes at the restart. Lister running in third, Jake up into fourth. Moyland round the outside of James as they go through turn 8, so that puts Moyland back up into fifth, James in sixth. As Evan spins on the entry to 10, I think he took a little bit too much curb there. Compromised Kyle and Hobo, so Hobo drops down into ninth. Johnny Stokes on the attack though, within 6/10 now of Frenzy as they run down towards turn 14. Lister holding on. Jake not that far out of touch, but under attack from Moyland behind. Who said it? It was Ryan. Ryan, you could be on to something here. Moyland running very wide through turn 3. Is that 2? It's compromised Moyland on the run up to 4, allowing James through. So James up into 5th, proving that result for the constructors for Aston Martin. Frenzy still holding on to the lead. Johnny is a little closer, but can't quite get close enough. It's got almost double the ERS of Frenzy. He's picked the right time to deploy that. Lister holding on in third. Jake holding on to fourth. I don't know where to what, because battles all the way through this top 6 now. We come round turn 13 for the final time. I think Frenzy's got this. Into turn 14. No DRS. Run to the line. Frenzy takes a win. Johnny Stokes picks up second. Lister in third. Jake takes fourth. James in fifth. Moyland in 6th, Demon in 7th, Kyle takes 8th, Hobo will pick up 9th. I think it was Demon in 10th. But I'll check that in a second. Driver of the day for Frenzy, and actually I've got to give it to him. The safety car worked an absolute treat. So that was a last to first for Frenzy, but he did really well to hold on 5-lap older softs. So Frenzy takes the win and picks up the fastest lap. Ryan takes the win on the prediction game in the chat. Well done, mate. Do the compulsory screenshots. So Frenzy takes the win. Johnny Stokes takes second. Lister in third. So Lister rounding out the podium. And a great race from Lister as well. Battling all the way through to hold on to his position. Jake takes fourth. James Owl in fifth. Moyland in sixth. Demon took 7th. Kyle took 8th, Hobo in 9th. It was Evan that picked up 10th. Zodak takes 11th, and the non-finishers were Mrs. Carl, Nevo, Scotty, Decky, and Hepburn. That was a really good race. Some great racing there from everyone. DRS train through the middle of the pack from pretty much start to, well, till the safety car came out. Some great defensive driving, some great overtakes as well. I need to end the stream because I'm about to lose my voice, but thank you everyone for watching and everyone who's got involved in the chat. Thank you Ryan, Cherry, Hobo, and James. I'll be back on Monday for Monaco in GP1. So if you've got 20 minutes to kill, watch the end of quali and the first couple of laps and see if I can actually make it past lap 5. And then I'll be back next week for comms for RPR GP2 at Monaco. And before that, on Friday at 8 o'clock, it's TTFL at Singapore. So back-to-back street races for comms next week. But thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next week.